If you're a collector of rare music, this is probably a good lot for you. Hey friends, welcome to Andy's Audio Stuff, where we talk about music, obviously music, and stereo equipment. It's not so obvious back there, but it's stereo equipment, lots of it, turntables, CD players, what have you. And today we're going to talk about CDs, because that's why you clicked on this, is because you saw the banner that said I picked up 2,500 CDs. How did I do that? Well, Facebook Marketplace, that's how I did that. Guy had 5 of these tubes listed for 65 bucks. Reached out to him. He said, oh, by the way, I have more. Well, how many more? Went into a pretty lengthy conversation about this and that and music, and when he sent me pictures of them, I could not recognize a lot of the artists that he took pictures of, and you know, he didn't take a picture of all 2,500 CDs, he just kind of took a random sampling and sent me some, and I'm like, man, those are cool. All right, I am like now interested, so I go and buy them, all 25. As I started unpacking them, I was like, man, where did this come from? Because as I'm unpacking it, I'm going through some of them, and I'm like, there's demo after demo after demo after live album after, you know, one-off recordings and this and that. I'm like, man, this is just insane. All right, the first clue was on the side of these. It says DMP3 Music. So I looked DMP3 Music up, and it is a place in Kansas that will digitize your entire CD collection. Okay. Then I found on the side of one of the boxes a packing slip, and in fact it says DMP3 Music. So my guess is that this guy that I bought them from, who claims he found them in a storage auction, which I believe him, he probably got them digitized, put them into storage, and they ended up auctioning off the storage shed. That's my best guess. But I can't figure out what this guy was into that got him so many demo copies, one-offs, live recorded albums, and other things. As I went through this, I just kept finding some of the most interesting CDs that I had never seen before. It's almost like a time capsule from, I'd say, the 90s, early 2000s. Now, what we have is a very interesting collection, because I say it's interesting because I have never seen this many demos and concert CDs and one-off rips from artists trying to make it. There is such a wide array of music in here. I found everything from Adele to Tool to reggae to, here's India Air, here is Philips Classical, to name a few of them that I've decided to keep, which I've already gone through this a little bit on a prior take, trying to film this in one take. Moody Blues, Beck, Talking Heads, Crash Test Dummies, Handle Music, not Handle Music, Handle Water Music, Wilco, Tool, Mazzy Star, Shakira. It's everything. It's all over the board. You can imagine 2,500 CDs, you're going to be all over the board, right? So let's go through a couple of these piles. I'm just going to randomly pick. I'll show you kind of a run through of what's in these. Now, I've only gone through a couple of these in the previous take. I hate filming these in multiple takes because it's such a pain in the butt to sit down and actually edit. Okay, so winner, winner, chicken dinner. So these first two here, what I will do to figure out who they are, because I don't recognize either of these, to figure out who they are, I'm going to have to Google Lens them. I'll look them up on Google Lens, and Ambient Groove, Journey into Ambient Groove. Sorry, I got distracted. This one here, I'll Google Lens this one too. And if I like them, I'll keep them, but it's got to be pretty quick, because 2,500 CDs, I could blow an entire weekend just going through these, right? That would get quite boring very quickly. Interesting. Interesting. Hey, speaking of interesting, the next day after I bought these, I was like, man, I'm gonna need some storage for these. And I started looking online, and I really liked these disc ears, and pretty cool, right? They have like so on. They're 30 bucks a pop, and I found these at the thrift store like literally the next day for $4, and I got 4 of them. So I got my disc storage solution. Here's some Time Life discs, the Emotion Collection. Right on. All right, Messiah, the more Emotion Collection. Let's see here. Tracy McCain, Sneaker Pimps, Ezra. Is this Ezra like the rock? I think that's Ezra like the rock. Okay, anyways, you get the point. You get the point. All right. Look. Okay, so license for promotion use only. There are a flip ton of these in here. It's like every stack has maybe 10 of them in it, maybe 5. I might be over exaggerating. Goldie, Blue Dream. Here's another one. That's right. Sophie, State of Grace. Don't know. West, that guy. Most Deaf. Black on Both Sides. Okay, that's good. All right, that one. Reggae Gold 2000 mix. Right on. So you get the point, right? You see that mix just in that small stack I picked up right there. This is crazy sauce. Let's go down further in this stack here. Let's see here. What can we dig up here? Of course, this one's F-E-I-S-T, Feist. Okay. Aha. Robert Williams. Joni Mitchell. Or is that Michelle? What is that off of? That work at the show where they're working, Average Joe's Gym. Yeah, Michelle. Anyways, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you don't, right? There we go. Bjork. Right on. There. Advanced. See? Advanced copy, right? Cool. Zane. What is this one here? The Weight of the World. Neural, I guess. The brand's, I don't know. Maybe you know. If you know, that's great. What is this? Giant Lee Buffalo? Grant Lee Buffalo? Grant Lee Buffalo, not Giant. It's really hard to read that, okay? Believe me, it really is. This one looks like, so this is another one of those weird ones where it's like, some of these, like when I look at them and I turn them over, like some of them it's pretty obvious when I turn them over, but they look like the one-off Burns. The Smiths, let's see here, this one's Leftism. I don't really, that's not it. Here's Promotional, right? Another Promotional, right? Good. Here's Promotional. Beck, Mellow Gold. That is like forever ago to get that as a promotional copy. That one's a really cool looking disc. Gosh darn, that's cool. XL, Wonderworld. This is Wonderworld. Oasis. I wonder if this is Oasis. Bonnie Raitt. Sorry. Another promotional. Isn't that just crazy? So many promotionals in one spot. Usually, you know, when I'm going through like the CDs at like one of my vintage shops here in town or whatever, you know, I'll find one occasionally. Like I said, maybe one a month if I'm really lucky. Let's go through this one. Denzel Pub. And I am mispronouncing a lot of these, so please don't chew me up in the comments too bad. If you do see something that you think is like awesomeness in here, let me know, because I don't know. Most of these I have never even heard of. Peter Murphy. Reservoir Dogs, the motion picture soundtrack. Winter Solstice, number 4. Techno music. Don't know. Who is that? Looks familiar, right? Full on. Just Say Row. Disc number 2, disc number 1 of some kind of collection. Right on. Let's see what. Let's go through this one back here. This one. This one right here. Sumac? 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 I don't know how you say Sumac. I've never had to say that out loud, I don't think. Harvey Reed. American Recordings, All Good Things, Wash Me Out. Medicine. That's the band name, Medicine. Yeah, that one. Kiki Herb. Weekend Players. Look, promotional copy in stores. 6/17/06. Nights Like These, The Faithless. So that would indicate to me that maybe this person knew a store owner, or maybe they went shopping at a place that put the promo copies up for sale. I know when the record stores used to do that. Maybe that's it. Katie Lang, T-Neck, the commercials. So these are like Kellogg's Rice Krispies, Chiquita Bananas. You know, everybody needs a commercial CD, right? Shakespeare's Sister. This one is Take That Ultimate Collection. Don't know. Let's see here. We'll figure that one out later on. The Best of Heartbeat. Man, this could go on forever, but you get the point, right? There's a Quadraphonic. No, that's not Quadraphonic. That's the band name. Quadrophonia? Yeah. If you know them, then you know them. I don't know them. Do you know them? I'm sure the glare is like wonderful to try and see through on this. All right. That's enough, man. That's going through quite a few, right? I have been listening to these for 4 days now. A lot of them I just sorted through. I just knew by the title that I already had it or that I wasn't interested, just from the band name. I want to give a big shout out to this old Optimus car compact disc player. This thing probably went through maybe 1,000, just sampling, just listening, figuring out whether I knew the band, whether it sounded familiar, whether I liked their sound. There's so many one-offs in this collection that most of them I had never heard of before. To give you a feel of what is there, it's like mostly like 90s alternative, techno, like modern rock, grunge, some imports. I'm thinking here, there's a little bit of classical music in there. There was some funk, definitely some indie, club, which kind of the club and the techno are kind of the same thing. There were a good sampling of like UK only releases, and those were usually like promo copy releases. And then there were some instrumentals. Anyways, what it's completely missing is like the Led Zeppelins, like the classic rock, Floyd, even the more modern classic rock like Guns N' Roses, alternatives like Nirvana, Red Hot Chili Peppers, not in there. None of that is in here. It is like anti that. My guess is, just based on the few that I did look up, few being probably 100, that this is just full of really rare one-offs that you're hardly ever going to see on the market. And if you're a collector of rare music, this is probably a good lot for you. For me, I took the 400 I wanted. Actually I took less than 400. I took about 350, but then I took about 50 for a friend of mine, music I knew he would like. So sending those his way as a big thank you for hooking me up with the previous video, or another video, maybe not previous, where I had got 2 crates of records for like 20 bucks. So I know that I've gone through and I've shown you a sample, a snippet randomly, but these are, I feel like this is probably a better representation of what's actually in here. So here's like a Dinosaur Jr. Here's a Vice CD. So Vice, the label, and this is volume 11, number 7. So this is kind of what they were promoting, whatever time period this was released. I believe it's probably 90s. The Eels. Here's some classic Rachmaninoff. Here's another London, Sound of London. Accelerator. I don't know if, let's see here. I don't see a label on here. Well, there's a V, there, EBV. So there's your label. And then here is like Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes. All right, it's a good CD set. I have it already. It's gonna go back in the pile. The Clash. Here's Sweet 903, another Brit release. So I found lots of these British releases in here. Here is Asian. I believe this is probably Japan. It is actually they're singing in Japanese. Here's a license for promotional use only. This is actually a pretty decent CD. Taking Back Sunday. And then here on this one, you can see it says restricted release, watermark disc, and it's actually a burn disc. So this is Taking Back Sunday, like right from the studio, pretty much, right? This is a pre-release on a burnt disc. Rare stuff. You won't find much of this stuff out there. Unless you have the hookup, right? And this is just, I honestly don't know how I'm gonna divide these up, but they will. The rest of this lot's gonna end up on eBay. And I think I've decided to divide it up into 500s and then sell each 500 for a set amount. Thanks for tuning in and watching this episode. Appreciate it, and have a good day.